Greetings, that was Barag.
Oh, sorry.
He was singing a dwarven hymn.
Yes, indeed I was. Hello.
Yeah. This is the story thus far. We are on episode 10. Double digits, guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
Double digits. It's crazy. Okay, so real quick, we're just going to get through this. The Instagram.
Oh, right.
What planet are we on?
I know, I'm a little off today.
It's alright.
But our Instagram is @the_story thus far. If you guys want to check us out on Instagram.
Cool. And we have our email address.
Which is storythusfar@yahoo.com.
Okay, cool. Anybody got anything else? Real quick.
I believe we will be somewhere.
Oh, yes.
Next weekend.
That's right. Next weekend we are going to WonderCon in Anaheim. So we'll be perusing around the aisles. If you guys see us, please feel free to say hello. But the show will go uninterrupted. We do plan on continuing to give you some of that D&D 5e flavor. I think that's about it. I played Star Trek Adventures last night.
How was that?
It was amazing. You know what? D&D 5e is my main, but this is definitely my side piece.
Is that good?
Oh, it's so good. The mechanics of it is so different than anything you've ever played. It's so good.
Sweet.
Yeah, but that's gonna be definitely my side thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
I have not heard of this game.
You've never heard of Star Trek Adventures?
Not yet, no.
The book is gorgeous. It's beautiful. Like, I held it in my hand. I was thumbing through the pages. It was like,
is that
I loved it.
brand new?
Yeah, it came out last year. Modifius is the company that made it. Modifius is this weird RPG company that was like nobody had ever heard of it, and then bam, 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 they put out like 2 or 3 really, really good RPGs.
Okay.
Like, in within the span of like a year.
Nice.
Wow.
But I played Star Trek Adventures last night, and it was fantastic.
Sweet.
I was an Andorian medical officer. It was great.
Nice.
It was great. Our shuttle has crashed on a planet.
Oh.
I'm very, very scared for us.
Yeah.
I'm very scared for us.
In a good way or a bad way?
No, I'm scared.
I would not blame you.
I would think like maybe scared and adventuring, you know, like with a little bit of excitement, but
no.
This doesn't look good.
No.
This doesn't look good for
We're
you.
in trouble.
Oh, God.
Yeah, but if anybody has a chance to check out Star Trek Adventures, it's really, 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 really good.
I wish.
That's gonna be like a conquest for me. So I don't have enough room though in my brain for D&D and Star Trek Adventures. So I don't think I can run both of them. Mm-hmm. So I leave it to you guys. You guys, if you guys want to run that, that's fine. But
hey,
it is awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
So and that's it. So we've got WonderCon this upcoming weekend, which I'm super excited for.
We'll be there Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
Booyah.
I won't be there just Sunday.
Just Sunday.
Hey.
Daedalus is looking to catch a deal. He's gonna go up to those vendors. You can either sell it to me cheap or carry it home. I've got plenty of coin.
That's right.
Intimidation.
He's gonna make an intimidation check.
Should bring Broomy with him.
Yeah. Ooh, you guys should cosplay as your characters.
Totally wish I could if,
Well, you're
Why
short
can't you?
enough.
And make some armor.
Yeah, you need to go full armor. You're going to be busy with foam for a long time.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys. I think we are just about ready to go. I am going to go. Okay. So, the story thus far, episode number 10. Daedalus, Terra, Barag, and Talvis, otherwise known as Ransom's Valor. The 4 of you find yourselves in Mylkun Bohom's village of the Alderman Wolfster. Deep west in the dark and haunting swamps, just west of the Tapa Desert, otherwise known as the Sanguine Sands, the 4 of you are initially met with open arms. That is, with the exception of Barag. Barag, you and Grayu, I already hear the sigh. You and Grayu had a private conversation in which he stated he was going to make you pay for the agony and the near death that he suffered at your hands. Initially, you tried to plead your case. However, you quickly reverted to overt threats and handed him a piece of dwarven gold, something considered to be a death mark that you intended to collect on. Terra, you had a conversation with Ryu, perhaps initially to talk him down from his course of action. However, Ryu wasn't hearing it. Unlike with Barag, Terra, your conversation ended in mutual respect and understanding. Talvis, you were questioned by Ryu in reference to your relationship with Zion Zane, which you completely shut him down. With tempers still high, the fellas went to the Missing Tooth, which is the local watering hole. As you ate and drank Daedalus, you struck up a conversation with the barkeep, Kasur Redud. As you spoke with him, you were left with an impression that he wasn't being completely honest. He claimed he was starstruck, or perhaps you were just strangers who happened to be in Mutatown, Daedalus, and you insisted a conspiracy was afoot, and enlisted Talvis, who quickly threw up a divine spell and held him in place and tried but failed to imprison him with your fuzzy pink manacles.
Which he still has.
He still has them.
Somebody has them.
Yeah.
I have them actually.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear that, but I'll find him.
I know you have a special affinity for those manacles.
Yeah.
Z, I've actually sold those to you, remember? The
Yeah,
merchant. Yeah.
That's right.
Having released your spell, Talvis, all of Ransom's Valor were immediately kicked out of Missing Tooth Tavern, and Talvis, in full public display, you berated the common folk of the Alderman Wolster. You quickly turned around, only to be met by the tearful gaze of 4-year-old Mylkun Bohom, and as a result, she ran off into the swamp. All of you except for Terra, you all now have alienated yourselves from those you would protect. So you decide at the behest of Barag to chase Mylkun into the fetid primordial swamp and into the night, even as Talvis protested this course of action in lieu of sleep. Ransom's Valor found the going to be difficult, as each step took tremendous effort. And as the 4 of you traveled deep into the swamp, you were set upon by a monstrous mass of sentient vegetative matter. Daedalus, you were pulled into its mass. And you escaped, but not before getting stabbed by Terra's dagger, being pummeled by Barag's Chimera Rising War Maul, and being shot by Talvis' crossbow. Despite this, the 4 of you managed to survive that encounter. Now, Ransom's Valor, what would you like to do?
Suppose we better make our way forward here.
Yeah, it is nighttime now.
Oh, okay. Alright.
It is evening. It's hard to tell because the canopy is so thick in the swamp.
Mm-hmm.
But you can definitely tell that the sun has fallen. Well, the light breaks through the canopy has completely disappeared, and it's those of you without dark vision, it's hard to see 5 feet in front of you. Those with dark vision, it is impressive how dark it is. You've got maybe about 15 feet worth of vision.
Say we start a fire and bed down for the night, or do you guys want to keep looking?
This is a little girl we're talking about.
Yes.
In the middle of the swamp.
I was just dragged out of bed not an hour ago, so I was hoping you'd say we'd keep looking.
We have to keep looking.
Hey.
As much as I'd like to take a nap right now.
Where do we sleep anyway? It's swamp.
Yeah, that's right, Daedalus. It's very, very hard to even get any sort of firm ground. Everything is wet. The trees are wet. The ground is soaked. Every time you step, you hear like a kind of like sound with each step. So it's very difficult to find some place that's dry.
Lovely.
Oh, let's get a move on. This girl isn't gonna find herself now.
Okay.
Can we still see which way she went?
You'd have to make a survival check.
I think.
Basically to see if you can pick up the trail. I will tell you it'll be at disadvantage. It's at night.
Even with dark vision?
Even with dark vision. It is at night, and the ground is soaked. Whatever track she's going to leave is going to be quickly filled up by water.
I only rolled a 5.
5. You cannot tell which direction she went.
I'm gonna cast my light cantrip on my shield.
Sure.
So that'll last an hour.
You dingus, you should have had me try to track her.
So that's 20 feet of light in a radius.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. So and it helps. It helps. So what are you guys doing?
Well, who's going first?
Yeah. What is the marching order?
I will take lead since I have dark vision.
Okay.
I'll take the front.
And am I still in the back because I also have dark vision?
Yes, yeah. So we're gonna go with the same order as the last time, which Terra was behind me, Talvis was behind Terra, and he brought up the rear.
Sure.
Hopefully this time he doesn't get snatched up by a monster.
Yeah, it really worked out well for you last time.
Yeah, it was great. You didn't see
That's
anything
not even.
coming.
That's not even a word. That's just a sound. All right, so you're bringing up the rear, and I need who's first? Barag. I need you to make a perception roll, please.
Natural 19.
Natural 19. Okay. It's hard to see with as dark as it is in this fetid swamp. You've got a lot of swamp gases, which makes you want to vomit. You can smell decaying matter, mostly vegetation matter. You hear things, sometimes heavy things, big things, chomping around in the water. Sometimes off in the distance. Sometimes a little closer than what you'd like. You hear all manner of swamp life, animal life, as you continue to press forward. Off in the distance, you do see. It looks like the outline of a cottage of some sort.
Ooh. I'm gonna just turn my head a little bit and go, "Oi, Terra! I see a building ahead."
Cool.
Really?
I actually could disable my light cantrip
Okay.
off of my shield. Do I see the building that he's talking about?
Make a perception roll.
Dun, 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 dun.
18.
18. Yes, you do see it as well.
Okay. Do I see any windows on it?
You're too far right now. You can get closer if you'd like.
Okay.
I'm gonna advance forward towards the cottage.
So the cottage, as far as the map, actually would be on the other side. I'm sorry. So let's flip this map over real quick. So you guys are coming this direction. You kind of see the cottage off to the west, not too far off.
Quick march order set up in a jiff. Yep, there we go.
Okay.
So I'm gonna advance towards the cottage.
So you guys start
very
walking towards the
cautiously.
cottage?
Ever so cautiously as I beckon to the group. Let's move it!
Okay. So as you guys continue to move forward, those of you in heavy armor are having such a hard time getting through the muck and the mud, and you've got water. You're completely waterlogged, all of you.
Yay.
So you slowly, because remember, you guys are at half speed now. You're not at full speed because this is considered difficult terrain. Nobody's a ranger with swamp as their preferred landscape. So unfortunately, you will be at half speed. So you do see the cottage. As you come up closer, you do see that there's a dim light in the cottage. You see kind of like a corral behind it, and as you walk closer, it smells really, really bad. It smells like decaying matter, decaying meat specifically.
I'm just gonna go, oh man,
manner
that
of
doesn't
thing
smell
would
good.
live there under that smell?
Well, we're in a swamp, my friend. Could be anything.
Am I close enough to see if there's any windows?
You can see from that distance there is a window.
Okay.
There's a couple of windows. You do see a very dim light, probably from an oil lamp from within. Yeah.
Well, what do you say we knock on the door, or just maybe take a peek in? See, there's a window over there.
Alright, hold back. I'm gonna go up and investigate the cottage. And I'm gonna make my way forward, and I'm gonna investigate like the area to see if there's anything before I
Sure.
like. Is there a door?
There's a door.
There's a door. Okay, I'm gonna before I knock on the door, I'm gonna try to just look around the area and see
Sure.
what I can see.
What'd you roll?
A 2.
A 2? It's wet. And it's super, super dark.
Remember that you're in a swamp.
Your investigation of the area doesn't garner much. This particular cottage, as you kind of look, it's built poorly, and it's old.
Okay.
It's been here for a very long time. You are surprised that whatever wood that comprises this particular cottage has not deteriorated already. And so as you're kind of looking around trying to see what you can see, the door kind of cracks open a little bit.
I'm gonna
With a creak.
and I see this and I hear this happen.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna. Who goes there?
come in, stranger.
I present yourself first.
You are my guest.
A guest for what?
No answer.
I cast the Monergy to make the door fly open,
Sure. And it does.
and that way we can hopefully approach.
Sure.
Which I will approach.
Okay. And as you approach, you do see a woman standing there, in her 20s, maybe early 30s, long ebony hair with streaks of white, embellished with jewelry around her neck and her wrists, very attractive and voluptuous, but behind her is a different story. You see what looks to be a very, very large cage. Nothing is in there. All manner of forest creature kind of jumping to and fro. You see mice and rats and all kinds of every once in a while you'll see a snake kind of slither past. At her feet you kind of see earthworms kind of coming up to the surface.
So I look at her, and then at the creatures running around. I just lean into Barag. What do you think? Worth it?
Not sure right now at the moment.
As
Kind of creepy, but
earthworms kind of ruin the mood a little bit.
So as you guys are kind
Yeah.
of talking to each other, you see her kind of move her hand, and the door shuts.
That's not very inviting. Something is going on here. That's
a little shifty. Shady. I'm just gonna reach Chimera Rising out and just knock on the door with Chimera Rising.
No answer.
If we are your guest, why do you shut us out now?
If you are my guests, why do you insult me?
Alright, we're a little premature.
She heard me.
Well, yeah, she heard you. She's right in front of us.
I was relatively quiet. She has heightened senses.
Well, duh.
A little suspicious.
She lives in a swamp. She probably has heightened senses for a reason. She has to
I'm
be
just
aware
gonna
of
turn to
everything.
Daedalus.
So you just see them talking.
I'm just gonna turn to Daedalus and just like turn to him and then turn back to those two over there and do you know what's going on?
No clue.
This is a little weird. I think the swamp's kind of getting to them. Do they have swamp fever?
So I turn to Daedalus and Terra and just kind of wave them over without saying anything. Just like,
So you see you see Talvis kind of motion over to you guys.
Yeah, that's definitely swamp fever.
Yeah. I think we should walk over just in case. What do you think? Yeah?
I guess.
Well,
Reluctantly trudging
So the
forward.
four of you are in front of this cottage, having two separate conversations. So what do you do?
There's a woman in there who's got all manner of foul creatures running about her feet. Not too hard to look at herself, but it's something more to the story, I think.
How about we stop insulting her and find out?
I said she wasn't too hard to look at. I mean, you know, I think she's
True.
mad because I insulted her earthworms.
I'm gonna try to coax her into opening the door. Please open the door. We apologize. We're just taken aback by this cottage.
So, you know, get a reply.
We
You
could
want a
just-
hug? A great burly hug from a dwarf.
I'm gonna try and persuade.
Okay. Make a persuasion check and make your argument.
Okay.
I'll aid her in said persuasion.
Okay. That means that you will verbally aid her as well. You can't just say, I'm gonna aid her in convincing her to open the door.
I'll wait for her to speak first.
Sure. If he's aiding, you get advantage.
Oh,
and
that's
you have to
right.
roll twice. You take the higher of the two. What'd you roll?
Same exact thing.
What was it?
13. Well, 10, but plus my
Okay, plus-
persuasion, 13.
Gotcha. So you rolled the 13. So go ahead and make your case. Plead your case.
I'm gonna. I don't know what these two buffoons said to you, but I assure you we come with no harm and we just have a few questions to ask. We are looking for somebody.
Yeah, we won't insult your earthworms. Seriously, we won't insult your animals. We won't be like these two. It's your place. You run it however you wish. We will not say anything.
So you don't get a reply.
What did you two say to her?
Oh, by the hells! I just approach the door and try to open it manually.
Okay. So go ahead and no, you don't even have to make a roll. So it opens, easy enough.
Okay. And I just take a quick turn back at them, sort of wave them in a little bit, and I walk into the cottage.
Okay. So as you approach, you see the cottage. It's kind of littered with little bits of stone and rock, probably to try to firm up the ground, the swampy ground that's the cottage is built on. It is quite nasty inside. There is a big black cauldron sitting on some over a furnace. But the coals are hot, but the fire is not stoked. But something is cooking and it smells horrid. Within the cage, you do see little bits of old bone that has been chewed on, and a lot of different animals running around. Curiously, you do see bookcases. You do see some flasks. You do see some old tattered books. Some of them have no titles on them. And that's really about all you see.
We don't see.
And you do see her.
We see her.
She's sitting kind of in a rocking chair, closer to the fireplace, on the far end of the room, just facing the door.
Pardon our interruption. We're looking for a small girl that may have come this way.
You mean, pardon your intrusion?
Sure. Have you seen anybody? You seem to be the only one living in this area. We thought you may have seen her.
Indeed. You're looking for a wayward child.
Yes.
No wayward child here, I assure you.
I sort of glance over at the cauldron. What do you have cooking there?
Would you like some?
Not necessarily. I'm a cook myself, so I thought I might just ask out of curiosity.
Sure. Everybody make a perception roll.
16.
Yes.
13 modified.
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
Woo! 9.
9. Okay.
Yeah.
So the three of you, as you are speaking to her, you see her form kind of shimmer a little bit against the dying heat of the furnace. You specifically, kind of, because you are proficient in Arcana, you can tell that some sort of illusion is being cast.
Guys, I don't think she's really here. Either that or it's somebody else, and this is just what he or she wants to show us.
So she kind of looks at you. You're very perceptive.
So,
Daedalus Hartwell.
how do you know my name?
I know much about you. Perhaps we should all drop our facades. And so, as she kind of moves her hand a little bit, you see the illusion slowly give way. She is ancient. Her skin is wrinkled and leathery, dark purple. It's almost like she has too much skin hanging on her skull. Her skin just kind of hangs very loosely. You can even barely see her eye holes. As she smiles, you see metal in her mouth, and you could see that the metal is actually iron nails that have been pushed through the gums to form teeth. Her nails are also iron nails that have been pushed through the end of her fingertips. They're long and rusted. She's got all manner of bone, and some look human, hanging on necklaces and bracelets. You do see, a wand at the ready, right by her side. And she's like, "We are much alike, Daedalus Hartwell."
Still want to know how you know my name.
Oh, I know a lot about you. I've seen it. So she kind of points at a table in the corner. The table in the corner has something underneath a leather tarp. It's rounded, whatever's underneath. She goes, "I have seen you, scryed upon you."
So, are you like a fortune teller of some sort?
Oh, I am of some sort, yes.
Who do you serve?
That is the question, isn't it, Daedalus? Who do I serve? You have a Hearth of Hestia. You have a Hearth of the stone and a Hearth of the sea. And you serve your own Hearth, don't you?
You do not speak of my patron in that way. Ever. Unless you want a faithful of Eldridge.
Well, you are in my home. You speak to me with a measure of respect.
And
So she kind of like starts reaching for her wand. You are the invaders here, Daedalus Hartwell. Information is what you need. I have it. Don't allow your youthful exuberance to get the best of you.
She hasn't allowed hers to get the best of her, that's for sure.
Oh my god.
Roll for initiative.
Talvis!
We had info, guys. We had info. A lot.
Thanks, Talvis.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens. If she dishes it out, she's got to be able to take it.
Oh my god.
13. Thank you.
There we go.
I rolled a 1.
Wow.
Well,
9.
13.
1. How poetic that you rolled a 1 on your initiative. What's that, guys?
Talvis and his big mouth.
what are we gonna do with these two, Terra?
I like how for once Barag and I are quiet. The one time we're quiet.
Yeah, you know.
The dwarf didn't piss her off this
It
time.
probably would have served you, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, So, let me roll her initiative. Okay, so she rolled a 16. Alright, so who got 25 to 20? No? 20 to 16. 20 to 15. No? Okay. So she goes first then.
Oh, great.
Okay. 15 to 10. What do you guys get?
13.
Both
So
13.
she
Who has the higher
goes
dex?
first.
You have the higher dex.
Yeah. Oh, wait, your dex is maxed out, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. She wins for now. Hey, I'm catching up. I'm at 16
Okay.
dexterity,
10 to
man.
I'm at 20.
Oh, yeah, 9.
5. Sean, we're playing D&D.
Come along, come here.
Talvis, and then we've got bringing up the rear figuratively and literally.
Voice last.
So you see her grab her wand. She casts an ancient incantation, and within you see a spiritual form, a specter, kind of emerge from the shadow. You see bright white eyes, but thick black wings, and then you also see a beast kind of pop up from the other corner as she says that incantation. The beast itself looks, it's got 4 legs, looks very canine-like. It's got this large, rather deformed head, like the head is way too big for the body. It's got teeth, but not on the inside of its mouth, but on the outside of its mouth. The eyes are large and white, and it's got these huge talons as well. So I'm going to see here. That is going to be her turn. Next is going to be Terra Highhill.
I am going to actually, dang it, she's already seen me, so I can't go into stealth. But I will summon my steel marbles.
Okay. That's a bonus action.
Yes. And moving is considered an action, right?
No, moving is just movement.
Okay. I'm gonna actually hold my action until after Barag attacks.
So Barag is going to be the trigger?
Yes.
Okay, so you need to move them in front of her, because you're kind of like at the door.
Oh,
but
okay.
She's well into the cottage.
I'm gonna go right here,
So you're
kind of in between
surrounded on all sides by this shadowy beast and this demonic shadowy form that emerged.
and then I'm gonna recite the words to activate the marbles, which is Flajuga Mamari.
Flajuga Mamari. All right, and so you take the marbles, you hold them in your hand, you say Flajuga Mamari and some. What language is that? Is that halfling?
Halfling.
Halfling. And they quickly orbit around you. And so you do have an action.
I'm gonna hold my action.
Oh, that's right. You're holding your action until Barag attacks. Coincidentally, Barag, you're up.
Hey. Oh wait.
Every time you do that, it makes me laugh.
I don't even know why I do it.
I don't know. It's amazing.
Because you're a dwarf, there's no explanation for that.
Let's see. Take movement through friendly space with Terra and end up on the other side of her.
Okay, cool. Yeah, as long as you don't stop in Terra's space, yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, so I end up
Don't get in my bubble.
just on her lip. I was in your bubble.
Don't get in my grill piece. Alright, so, what do you do?
Much as I hate to be in this predicament due to some douchebag. Nah, I gotta defend defend our friend here in our group, I'm going to take my first attack at the one in front of me and extra attack on the one behind me.
Okay, so that is going to be the Shadow Hound.
Yeah, Shadow
and
Hound.
the Shadow Beast.
Yeah, a Shadow Hound and a Shadow Beast.
Yeah.
Oh god, this is gonna suck if I don't hit him.
It is going to suck if you don't hit him, so go ahead and roll your attacks.
Yeah. I'm worried that since they're shadows. 18, 19, 20, 23, 24.
24. Okay, that definitely hits.
Sweet. I'm gonna roll for the second one. So that's for the Shadow Hound in front of me.
Gotcha.
And that will be 15, 16, 17, 18.
Okay, 18.
Does that hit as well, I hope?
I will tell you right now.
Okay. Shadow
Yes, that definitely does hit, so go ahead and roll your damage.
Okay, awesome. Eight, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 damage for the Shadow Hound.
Okay.
And great weapon if I didn't re-roll the 2.
Okay.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11 for the second one, yeah, for the one behind me.
Okay, and that's for the Shadow Demon, right?
Yeah, the Shadow Hound in front of me and the Shadow Demon behind me.
Okay, so you feel like one moment, I just want to make sure that this is right. So yeah, you feel like it should have had more effect when you did it. So what was the second damage?
That would have been 11 for the second, yeah.
So yeah, your Chimera Rising kind of goes through its form.
Mm-hmm.
You see its form kind of shimmer for a second, and you just kind of look back at you. So you feel like something happened, but you weren't quite sure what it was. Certainly not damage.
Oi. So I'm gonna grin and then just stick my tongue out at it.
Okay. Next, it's going. Actually, they get their turn because they shared the initiative with the hag. So, why don't you go ahead, Terra, and because you were holding your action, right?
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead and do that.
I'm going to try and attack the hound.
Go for it.
Test the theory with. Halfling luck.
It actually looks like this.
Aww.
Oh snap! I love it.
I'm the only one that thinks that's cute.
Okay.
Looks like a Rottweiler. Oh my god, seriously. Hold on.
Would you roll?
Oh, no, I don't. First one missed.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay.
And 18.
18. Okay, the second one did hit, so why don't you go ahead and roll your damage.
Seven, 10, 21.
21.
Yes.
What was your cold damage total?
Well, that one was the first one would have been my
okay.
frostbrand.
Alright, gotcha.
So second one's the enchanted.
Okay, and what was the total?
21.
So, kind of like with Barag, you come back with your dagger. You miss with the first strike, but you hit it with the second strike. It kind of goes through the form, and you bring your dagger back, and it just kind of like shimmers a little bit right where you hit, and the shadow almost kind of breaks apart for a second, and then comes right back together. So let me go ahead and actually take their turns. I kind of forgot to do that. And they share initiative with the hag, so.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. So let's do this. Barag, since you are right there. First attack, missed. And it only actually gets one attack. But as a bonus action, gets to use the hide feature.
Oh, sweet.
misses the hide feature. So you see it shimmer for a second. It attacks you. It misses. The claws go right over your head, and you see it kind of trying to duck into the shadows of the cottage, but you still have full eyes on it. And then the natural 20. So.
Dang it.
Yeah.
And was this the hound or the?
This is the hound.
This is the hound attacking me.
Yep.
Oh, wonderful.
46.
46. Okay.
So 17 piercing damage.
Okay.
And I need you to make a strength save, please.
Oh, wait, should I add my mod to it? Or no?
Yeah.
Yeah. 10, 13.
13, okay.
Yeah.
That is exactly what you needed. So it hit you with such force, you're almost knocked completely off your feet, but you manage to kind of stay up as it's kind of like, you ever see like when a dog has a toy and it's just like mauling it? That's kind of what's happening. You're being mauled. Then it actually stops and, wow, completely disappears into thin air. Yeah. So, I need Talvis, you're up.
Okay.
That's gonna end your turn, right, bro?
Oh, yeah. So
Is the hag within 15 feet of one?
Yeah.
She is, okay.
Question about that disappearing hound. Did he like go invisible or is he just?
I can't answer.
Gonna cast Spirit Guardians.
You want me to give you his health, too?
Oh, that would be helpful.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cast Spirit Guardians.
Sure.
So that will be effective within 15 feet.
Okay.
And so as I grasp my holy symbol, several small fey-like creatures will kind of flit out from the holy symbol itself.
Sure.
Kind of apparate and just flit out and fly around in a circle, encompassing, I guess, just about the perimeter of the cottage.
Inside the cottage?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
And every time they pass by one of the creatures, either the hag or one of their apparitions there, it'll kind of like, almost like it's taking a bite out of them.
Sure.
It'll kind of bite at them and fly back off.
Okay.
And so in that case, their speed is halved and in that area. And anytime they start their turn in that area or enter it from outside, they roll wisdom save and take 3d8 on a failure or half on a success.
Okay, gotcha.
And that is a concentration.
Okay.
And that's going to end my turn.
Okay. Sounds good. Daedalus, you're up.
Yeah, these things are fiends. At least
I can't tell you that.
Can't really tell. Well, so you really don't know what.
Oh, I know what they are. I just can't tell you. That would be cheating.
There's no real way I have that I can figure out. And identifies only for objects, right?
No, you can actually cast Identify on people.
What about on monsters such as they?
You can. Go ahead and read the Identify spell for me. And I believe it's a ritual spell. But just double check for me, would you? I believe it's a ritual spell. If it's a ritual spell, you can absolutely try it, but it will take time if it's a ritual spell. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I know it's a ritual spell. So
So, that being the case, it's
casting time is a minute.
a minute, so that's 10 rounds.
Ew, yeah, forget that then.
Okay. So what are you gonna do?
I'm just gonna make a complete shot in the dark.
Okay.
And I'm gonna cast Magic Circle.
Okay.
And I'm gonna have it target. See. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, they can't decide if they're fiends or if they're elementals. This is really hard because I don't know what they are.
You gotta decide what you're gonna do.
No, forget that. I'm just gonna try an Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
And I'm gonna
Now Magic Circle, the casting time is also a minute.
Yeah, forget that too.
Okay.
That's why I said, yeah, forget it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna Eldritch Blast, one name for each of them.
For the Shadow Beasts,
Yeah, basically the one's the heat of it.
the Shadow Demon is there. You see it. The Shadow Hound, you don't know where it is.
Okay, so I'll take one against the Shadow Demon.
Sure.
And I guess I'll just launch both at him.
Both at the Shadow Demon.
Yeah, because
Okay,
it's the only one
go
I
for
see,
it.
right?
Mm-hmm. Well, you also see the witch as well.
Yeah, I want to take on the lackeys first.
Okay, go for it.
The grunt begins.
11 plus my 6 is 12,
That hits.
17.
That hits.
18 plus the 6.
That hits. That's force damage, right? Eldritch Blast? I believe it is.
Let me check it real quick.
I believe it is force.
Where is it? Let's see. Yeah, force.
Force damage. Okay, great. So go for it. Roll damage.
So damage for the first one is a 4. That's not plus anything, right? It's just 4.
Yeah. No, you don't have. Do you have the evocation that allows you to add your wisdom modifier to the damage?
And I think it's my charisma.
Your charisma. I'm sorry. Charisma modifier.
Yeah, I have.
You do have that evocation. So whatever your charisma modifier plus. What you roll
So
on
that one's 7.
7. Nice.
And then this next one is a 9, 10, 11. I think it's a 9. Or it's a 6.
That's a 9.
Okay, so 12.
12. Jesus Christ. Dude. So
And
this
it takes the form of, I don't know, golf clubs.
2 golf clubs. All right. So
fun.
sure. So you I'm gonna say you flick your wrist kind of in the motion of a golf player, and you actually do the golf swing. You bring your hands up, you say the ancient words, the incantation, and ethereal golf clubs appear right above the shadow beast, and they hit pretty hard. Much harder than the melee attacks that it was struck with earlier. So good job. Now we are back to her, and we are going to.
And she's got a roll for the spirit guide.
Yeah.
So wisdom.
It's a wisdom.
Yeah. Yeah, against 14.
She made it. She rolled natural success.
3d8, and it'll be half of that. So 7.
7.
damage.
Nice. Great. So she actually does look right at you, Talvis, and she brings her hands up. She mutters an incantation that you don't even know what language it is. The sounds that you hear coming out of her mouth, you've never heard anything like it. And she is going to. Okay, so your eyes actually. Let's see. Hold on. You see her eyes kind of like become completely black, almost as if they're just 2 voids in her eye sockets. So I need you to make a wisdom save as you kind of look at her eyes.
6.
6. Okay. You are panicked. Target is frightened. On each of your turns, you must make a dash action and move away at the safest, shortest available route. So right now, so on your next turn, you have to make a dash action.
Okay. So that'll be double speed at half speed, right? It's swamp.
So at normal speed. It would be considered normal speed for you. And that lasts 1 minute, so 10 rounds.
Okay. And so wisdom throw each turn?
Yeah. Alright, so that is going to end her turn. Yep, that's going to end her turn. Next, it's going to be Terra. Barag is dying.
Yeah, again.
Actually, that was the hag. The hag hit him with a curse. So go ahead.
I'm gonna take my crossbow out, my hand crossbow that's on
Now
my.
understand, if you're in melee, you are at disadvantage.
Oh yeah, I'm in melee of the creatures, right?
Where's your...
My target is the hag.
Okay, is she in front of you?
No.
Okay, so no, you'd be able to hit her fine, but the creature, the shadow demon, you are in melee, so you'd be at disadvantage for that.
Okay, I'm just attacking the
The
hag.
hag? Okay, go for it.
$25.
That does hit. Jesus Christ. That's crazy. So go ahead and roll damage.
Sure, welcome. And it is 2d. No, it's 1d8 for crossbow. If I remember right.
You don't have it written down on your sheet?
I rarely use it. I have it saved here though.
What's the crossbow damage, Talvis? You use
1d8.
1d8.
1d8, right?
Go ahead.
Okay. 5.
Oh, I take that first movement, right? After she casts that?
On your next turn, you take it.
The dash.
The dash.
So...
She casts it, you're under its effect. So on your next turn, when you have movement, you dash.
So do I get another roll on that turn, or...?
No. Because that will be the first round that the spell is in effect.
After that.
So after that.
Got it.
So 5, you said? 5.
Yes.
Barag, you alright?
I'm okay.
Okay, hold on a sec.
He's killing us over here.
Barag, you're up.
Alright, okay, so I'm actually gonna turn myself ever so slowly and just glare at this hag in front of me with my red eyes.
Sure.
And just kind of growl and
Okay.
clutch Chimera Rising and get ready to make
Those are
my
all 3
attacks.
actions. So you clutch your Chimera Rising, you do glare at her. She seems unimpressed, you think?
Red eyes are certainly more impressive than black eyes because it's so dark here.
Yeah, that's true. They do stand out.
Did we start the recording?
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna make my roll now for... I'm actually gonna make both my attacks on her. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 23.
Yes, that's it.
Yay! My lovely strength.
This is on the hag, right?
Yes, both of my attacks are gonna be on the hag.
Okay. And your second?
14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22.
22 does hit, so go ahead and roll damage for both.
Sweet. Right weapon fighting to reroll my 1. 9, 10, 11, 12,
Bane of
15.
my existence.
I love it.
I know you do.
So glad I chose fighter. 14 damage for the first attack.
Okay, and this is on the hag.
Yes.
Okay.
And great weapon fighting again for the 1. Which would be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 damage on the second attack.
do?
Just
Okay, so you take your Chimera Rising maul and you reach back and you wail on her both times. She tries to get her hands up in a defensive position, tries to move out of the way. She's old and she's slow. You're beating this old senior citizen within an inch of her life. So, well done. Is that going to be...
Well done.
Actually, I'm going to take.
An elderly person.
I can't remember. Is extra attack no, not a bonus. Extra attack's not a bonus.
No,
action.
it's not.
So I'm gonna use my bonus.
It's a class feature.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't count as a bonus.
I'm gonna.
You know what? Now you've got me doubting myself. Just double check.
Yeah. Hold me. What's up? I have a bookmark, so just a second.
We do not condone the beating of elderly people. Just
Absolutely not.
Nada.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, no, it's just I get to take an extra.
Just a class feature,
so,
right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Alright, yes, so you can take a bonus action if you'd like.
Yeah, I'm gonna bonus action to use my second wind to regain my hit points. So 1d10 plus my fighter level, which is 7. So
Go for it.
There's my d10. So 1, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Gonna heal 12 points to me.
12 points?
Yeah, so
Alright.
I gain 12 points back, so I'm at 82 health.
Most excellent.
Yay! And that will end my turn.
Okay.
For now.
Talvis, you're up. And you are running. So that is round 1. Please mark that. You got 10 rounds of nonsense running through the swamp. And the fear that you've never felt a fear like. Actually, you have at the tome.
Yeah,
we all.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So I just push past Daedalus. Did you see her eyes?
He's like, there is no God! There is no Hestia!
Throw the holy swamp.
Running through the swamp.
I'm becoming a monk.
Oh my
I'm taking inspiration. Too good. Too good. Daedalus, you're up.
Oh.
So I'm gonna. So I can move. Can I see the hag too?
You can see her, yeah. Absolutely.
Nah, so I'm not gonna take shots at her. I'm just gonna take a shot at her summon friend over there.
Sure.
I guess 2 more Eldritch Blasts and see how that goes.
Go for it.
Come on. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18.
Okay.
And, 11 is at least a 17. Because I rolled an 11 plus a 6. So yeah, 17.
Oof.
So I hit both, right?
Dang, dude.
There it is. So,
Alright.
rolling. And see, this will be in the form of, I don't know. I'm going to do hockey sticks.
Hockey sticks?
I'm going to go with sports themed.
Alright, nice. So you do a little Gretzky the Great.
Yeah.
Nice.
See, I think that's a 6. I can never tell. I think that's a 6.
Sixes.
So 6 plus the other 6, right? So no, plus the 3. That's 9.
9. Okay.
And 10 plus the 10 plus the 3. So that's
13?
13.
Okay, nice.
So I.
So that is. And then 13. Man. So you do a little Gretzky the Great. And I'm gonna say you take slap shots at her, and then the hockey sticks appear, and then whoosh, whale her twice. Well done, sir. Okay. And you're doing some major damage. You think you hear one of her brittle bones snap from where you are. That's how hard you hit her with that last slap shot. That's gonna end your turn.
Yeah, that's good.
Now it's her turn. She is going to cast. Why do you groan like that? I haven't even said anything.
I don't like it when I hear the DM say cast.
But she will cast
As he smiles.
Yeah.
lightning bolts.
Oh, great.
Nice. You picked this fight, not me. At level 3.
Only one person picked this fight.
I believe you were first in initiative, were you not?
Started with
Hey,
some harsh
you know what?
words from
I didn't attack
Daedalus.
first. I didn't attack first. I just threw the marbles up.
She is a very aggressive hag. I agree. That's her fault.
Not
you. Her.
I need you to
I
make
was gonna say,
a
sir, should I be
dexterity save.
insulted by that?
Mm-hmm.
11.
Plus your dexterity.
That's Dex mod, so that is Dex mod. So it's 12.
Unfortunately, that does not make it. So you see her mutter some words, language that sounds like broken glass. You. So you just see this bolt of lightning actually come right through the roof of the cottage, and it strikes Daedalus, and you can actually smell his flesh burning. You take 26 points of lightning damage.
Holy wow.
And that is going to end her turn, but now it is... I need you to make a perception roll, Daedalus.
Poor Daedalus, man.
Just gonna pick that up.
He hit her the hardest. He hit her bad.
Old aggro.
7 plus the. I had the 3, right?
Yeah.
So that's 10.
10. Okay. So unfortunately, you do not see this coming. But behind you, the shadow hound, the shadow mastiff, appears, and it has advantage. So it does hit. 23. Yes.
Yeah, that hits.
Yeah, that is. That's 5. You take 3 points of piercing damage, and I need you to make a strength save.
Save. And 11.
11. Okay. So the shadow mastiff actually grabs Daedalus from behind by the neck and drags him down, and he's basically being ragdolled by this large shadow mastiff. And you just hear Daedalus. I don't know. What do you do when you're in that much peril? Do you scream?
Yes.
Do you manly yell? Oh, that hurt!
Huzzah!
I'm just gonna try. I guess I'll just try and tussle with it. Yeah. And pretty much yell, "Get off me!"
Sure. And now it is the Shadow Demon's turn. And who is... Oh,
So I was right. That thing did disappear. Go.
Yeah.
Put the hound behind.
Yeah.
Daedalus.
Alright, so now, Terra.
Really?
What is your armor class? Terra. High hill.
17.
17. Yeah, unfortunately, the shadow demon takes a claw at you, and it just kind of, it almost like grazes your face as you kind of twirl around to avoid it. And that is actually going to end its turn. So now, Terra, I believe you're at the top of the order, yes?
Yes.
Go for it.
I am going to use my crossbow again.
Go for it. And this is at the hag?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What'd you roll?
10.
Okay. Fortunately, that misses. Is that going to end your turn?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Barag, you're up. I want to take a picture of that.
I am right now.
Yeah, take a picture of that and send it to me. It's amazing.
I love taking advantage of moments like that. So I'm actually going to try to intimidate the hag, and I'm actually going to grab her by her throat, push her up to the cottage wall, and just stare at her with my eyes.
That's going to be a melee attack to grab her.
Yeah.
It's going to be a grab.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so we're going to do contested strength check.
Okay. That is a 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
Natural 18.
Oh.
So you go to grab her, and she manages to stave off your attack with her one good arm. You're not able to get a good hold on her. You can still try your intimidate.
Yeah, so
Now, I understand intimidate is only going to... how do I explain this? With intimidate, you're not going to be able to convince somebody to do something they wouldn't normally do.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But you can certainly try.
So as I go and try to grab her, and she blocks me off, I just reach back with Chimera Rising, and I'm actually just gonna freaking take a swing at her,
Sure.
instead of trying to intimidate her.
What is roll?
I'm gonna throw some imaginary inspiration your way from my.
What'd you roll?
I got
What'd you roll?
a 2.
2, okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna throw some of that imaginary inspiration your way.
Do you have any inspiration?
I have 1 left.
One
now.
left.
One left with using this one.
Gotcha.
Well, why am I rolling that again? No.
I don't know. Burn that dice. Is that a natural 20?
That is a natural 17.
Okay, good. That's a hit. So go ahead and roll your damage.
Okay, sweet. So, I wish it was a natural 20. That means I'd be doubling, and I'm gonna great weapon fighting for the 1, but I also rolled a 2, so that doesn't really help me much. 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15 damage.
15. Nice.
Yes. Booyah.
Alright. So you reach back with Chimera Rising after missing the grab. With a little bit of frustration, you reach her. You bring back your Great Wormhole, and you get her completely on the side. And that is going to end your turn.
Yes, that will end.
Talvis, you are moving, baby. This is round 2, and you are motivated.
I'm gonna use an inspiration on that.
Go for it.
So that's 2. Natural 20.
All right. So as you're running through the swamp, it's slow going, and then you come to your senses.
Those eyes weren't that scary.
Nah, you've seen worse.
Probably have.
It's called Barag.
Do I take any action?
So you can you can burn your action by taking a dash, or you can move at your regular speed.
I suppose I will
These
use my
guys
action to dash. Yeah, I'll keep running the other way.
Forget him.
Okay, which would put me right back here.
So where is that shadow demon now that he has me? Is he outside?
The Shadow Hound has
Shadow Hound.
Yeah, shut up. Remember, you never actually went into the cottage.
Yeah, you were outside.
Yeah.
Exactly where it is on the board is where it is.
And as I run past Daedalus in this thing's mouth, it's like, I'll come back for you. Then my for my bonus action.
That reminds me of that episode of It's Always Sunny. I'll come back for you.
Exactly.
You bastard. So yeah, go for it.
Bonus action, I'm going to cast Spiritual Weapon. And it will be my glaive, my 2-sided glaive. And I will cast it next to the hag, kind of next to where Barag's at as well, and make that first attack on her with it. I got everything but what I need. Here we go. Big old 4.
Nice.
Yeah.
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 So that happened.
That happened.
Or that didn't happen.
Kind of like jabbed her in the eye.
Yeah. So unfortunately, nothing happens.
Ah, nothing happens
Yeah.
to her.
Oh wait, it's half damage.
It's well, it's.
You're doing spiritual weapon, right?
Oh, you know what? I forgot to roll the attack.
You gotta roll the attack.
I was rolling
I
damage.
thought you rolled the attack and it was 4.
I rolled the damage. It was 4. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta hit her first.
15.
That hits.
Okay, so should I re-roll damage or just stick with
No,
that?
you
4?
can use. We'll stick with that. Okay, so 4. Okay. All right, well done. Is that gonna end your turn?
Yes.
All right. Next, it's going to be Daedalus. You're being ragdolled, my man. So you got to take your half your movement to go from prone to standing.
Okay, so I guess I do that.
Okay, so you take half your movement. So you're down to a quarter of your movement now because remember, all of this is considered difficult terrain.
Yes.
Everything outside. So. And you see the snarling, shadowy beast in front of you.
Okay, well, I'm gonna cast Misty Step and teleport away from it.
Ooh, get him!
Yeah.
God damn!
That's the last I can cast for this time being.
All right, I like it though. So 60 feet.
So, I'm gonna try. See, where's closer? See. I'm gonna just teleport closer to our cleric over here.
Sure.
I'm gonna be like right there, like that space between me.
Gotcha.
That's a hint. That's a big hint.
So, alright. What's that gonna end your turn?
I'm also gonna take one of my greater healing.
Got it. Alright, so now it is her turn.
So let me see how much it's at. Greater healing.
Greater healing potion is 44 plus 4. Okay, so now you guys hear her cast yet another spell. I need everybody to make a wisdom save, please. Again, it sounds like just broken glass, the words that come out of her mouth. And as she says them, you almost see like vibrations.
Modified 20.
Nice.
I'm gonna use up another inspiration. I'm just rolling terrible, except for that 20.
So what was the save again? What was that?
I'm not telling you. You tell me.
Oh, no. What was the save? What? Just I add mods.
Wisdom.
But it was a wisdom save.
Yes.
Okay.
Wisdom save. I can already see what happened.
Well, you're not gonna guess what's haunting me again.
11.
The fours are back.
The 4s are back.
The fours are back.
So no, the 4s aren't back. They never went away.
Just a reminder too is that they're within range of my spirit guardians again.
Remember, you have to do a concentration check
On
when you were frightened.
I thought it was only on taking damage.
Let me double check. Because concentration. Hold on 1 second.
Question, I think it's 6 with wisdom.
Concentration.
So I'm
I know, my
not
chair,
sure.
loves
My
to
character sheet
sleep.
actually does not. Oh yeah, it does have that. I might want to check with Noel because I'm imagining that when it says saving throws and it shows those stats, you're probably just writing in your stat modifiers.
Yeah.
I'm not positive. Yeah. Well, then your wisdom should be.
Unless you're proficient in that saving throw, which it'll say in your class.
Oh, okay. So that's why it would be higher than your
Yeah.
your modifier. Okay. Well, then we'd have to look under Warlock.
Okay, so for concentration, normal activity such as moving and attacking doesn't interfere with concentration. However, factors that can break concentration, casting another spell that requires concentration, taking damage, which you didn't, being incapacitated, or killed. So now to find out whether being frightened constitutes being incapacitated. Because if that state does, then yeah, you would have to make a check.
Okay.
Incapacitated. A creature can't take any actions or For this, I am going to say, because you can't take an action, so you wouldn't normally be able to cast a spell. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I will say make a concentration roll to keep it up.
Okay.
So go ahead and do that.
I get advantage on those because we're casting. Do I add? So it's wisdom or constitution? Sorry, right? It's a constitution save?
For your concentration check?
Yeah.
Let me see. Hold on, let me look.
I have it written down. Yeah. Con saving throws to maintain concentration. That's what I have written down.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what is your con?
Well, the roll would be 15 modified.
Okay, yeah, that made it. All right, so they are up still. So now I have to make wisdom saves, right?
Yeah. And I'll roll it again.
That is not for the Shadow Beast, though. The Shadow Beast is, the Shadow Hound is outside of that 15 feet of the Spirit Guardians. Because you cast it inside the cottage, remember?
Well, it's centered on me.
Oh, it's centered on you at all times.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's only...
So it moves with
Oh, it
me.
moves with you? Okay,
Yeah.
so 15. So it's going to catch the 15. It's going to catch the it's going to catch the two shadow creatures, but the hag is just out of its range.
Okay.
So, what is... So 11, what's your
14.
14, okay. So that takes full damage. Oh, and the... however, the Shadow Demon did make its save, so when are you going to roll damage?
Okay.
For both of those.
I got one.
So the Shadow Demon will take half damage, the Mastiff is going to take full damage.
Okay. Well, that's 9. 11 on the dice.
11. Okay. Oof. So the Shadow Mastiff is looking pretty rough, guys. Pretty rough. All right, so that's gonna end your turn, right, Talvis?
Well, that was the beginning.
Oh, that was from before. Okay,
Yeah.
now it's their turn.
Yep.
Okay, so we are going to do the hag. I need everybody to make a wisdom save as she casts.
After 20.
Oh wait, you already rolled for that, didn't you? Before, because you used your inspiration.
No, that was the one before. The other wisdom save
Okay,
before.
after 20. Okay, go for it. What'd you roll? What'd you roll?
13 plus.
Modified 20.
Made it.
Oh, well, just 13 because I have no wisdom.
Just 13? Okay.
Oh, no, 14. I forgot to change
Okay.
that. Oops,
That
yeah,
actually
14.
just made it. Alright, so what is...
Let's see. I was whatever. I guess I used that 6, right?
what is your wisdom save?
So if you're proficient in... Yeah, so that would mean you'd have to be proficient in wisdom saving throws.
So 6 plus whatever you roll.
I guess so.
Yeah, he is proficient in wisdom saving. So, yep, 6 is right.
8, 9.
So you rolled a 5?
Yeah. That's
Okay, so a total of 11.
That's an 8. Oh,
Yeah. So all of you guys are going to take some wisdom damage, or not wisdom damage. You're going to take psychic damage. Anybody resistant?
No.
No.
Negative.
Okay, so
No.
she says this ancient incantation. You see this eldritch energy kind of fill the room and kind of burst out. And actually, Daedalus, she doesn't see you. Strike that. You are actually outside of the cottage, so she does not see you. It's only these three. So you're safe. You're safe.
I'm safe.
Yeah. She's going to do.
Natural 20s don't save you with this one.
Ouch.
Okay, so as she says these ancient incantations, you are having living nightmares. All of a sudden, like your worst dreams, your worst nightmares actually kind of apparate within your mind's eye. You're kind of clutching at your eyes, you're closing them tight, and you guys take 28 points of psychic damage. Whoever made their saves is half, so it's 14.
14.
So we
okay.
all made our saves.
You all made your saves, so you
Yeah.
take 14 points of psychic damage.
Ah, that's better.
You can't see these.
She could not see you, so you're safe. Let's see. The shadow demon is going to take its turn. Let's see, and that's going to be on Barag. Damn it!
Sure.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Go ahead.
What's your armor class?
19.
Alright, so yeah, it kind of rakes its claws against your armor, but nothing happens, and the hound actually goes after Talvis, because Talvis is actually right in front of it. 21 hits?
It does.
It does. Okay, so go ahead and roll damage. As much like with Daedalus, this hound actually ragdolls Talvis. 6, 7. So you take 10 points of piercing damage, and I need you to make a strength save. So.
That's the 9s are marked, right? So that's,
Yeah, 6s are marked with.
oh, I see. This one's barely visible. That's a 9.
9 okay.
Plus strength, so it'd be 11.
Unfortunately, that does not make it. You are knocked prone,
Okay, can I still use a reaction?
and you do need to make a concentration check to maintain your spirit
okay.
guardians, because you've taken damage.
That's 16. So 18.
18. Okay.
And can I use a reaction even though I'm...
You can use one reaction per turn. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to use my reaction, which is Wrath of the Storm, to make him make a dexterity throw.
Sure.
And he'll take 2d8 for half on a success.
Okay. What's your difficulty?
14.
14. All right. He completely missed. So go ahead and activate your Wrath of the Storm spell.
And he will be... oh, it's a different one. I'm going to get pushed back. Ooh, hello. That's 14.
14. Nice. Okay, so as he grabs you and he starts to maul you, just by your natural instinct and reaction, you call forth your Call of the Storm and spell, and it hits him with lightning. Is that what happens?
It is, yeah, so it's actually lightning or thunder. I'll say lightning.
Okay. Okay. Yeah,
And,
he takes full damage.
When I deal lightning damage to a creature, I can also push it up to 10 feet away from me.
Okay.
So I will do that.
Okay. Excellent. So he's pushed 10 feet away.
And I'm lying on my side. Like,
There you go. All right. So is that gonna? Let's see. That's gonna end the master's turn. So now it is Terra's turn.
Let's try this again. Please.
That's once per long rest.
it's time. It's number of times equal to my wisdom modifier, which
Per
is
long rest.
3 right now
Okay.
per long rest.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. That's nice. to
Yeah,
do that with a reaction.
I've been underusing it, so it's
That's so good.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And that's any damage, right? So even range damage.
It's a creature within 5 feet.
Within
so,
5 feet. Okay.
Yeah.
That's still pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm going to again try and use my crossbow to attack the hag.
Okay. Perfect. What'd you roll?
Come on.
What'd you roll?
13.
That misses. Second any turn?
Yeah.
Oof, Terra. Alright, so Barag, you're up.
It's not a good day for Terra. today.
She's had better.
Yeah.
Blame it on the swamp mud.
Or the dice. Or both.
Swamp
It
mud.
don't matter. Let's blame it on the swamp mud.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. So I'm just gonna keep on attacking. I want to use
Go
that first attack and extra attack on her.
Go for it.
Oh, cool. A natural 2.
Okay, so unfortunately you do miss. Go for your second attack.
Natural 18.
Okay. So your first swing with Chimera Rising, it sinks deep into the mud, and actually mud kind of explodes everywhere from the impact. You bring back your War Maul for a second hit, and you hit her square right in the hip, right where you hit her before. So go ahead and roll damage. Damn, that's a 12, son?
That's 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 damage.
Oof.
Oh. Woo! Ouchie.
That's to which creature?
That's to the hag.
Okay. So you hit her hard. She goes slammed up against the wall with the impact. Second in your turn.
Yes, that will end my turn.
Talvis, you're up.
Okay. So I'm prone. So do I?
You have to take half your movement to stand up.
I'll be covered in mud at this point. Okay.
You went for a swim.
I'm going to take. So is my movement within the cottage also halved, just as it is
All
in
your
the swamp?
movement.
All okay. So half my movement. Well, my movement's 15, and I'm taking half of that to stand up. I can basically only move one space now. Like, because my movement is 15, so I'm taking half of that to get out of prone. So what I have left over is basically one space of movement. It'd be like 7, but...
Yes, you have one space of movement.
Well, that's a bummer.
I could just see Talvis kind of like trying to get up from the mud, just kind of sinking in the mud, finally able to get up and kind of staggering forward. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because Terra's right there, and I can't occupy that space. So. Okay. I am going to. If I cast a guiding bolt, I'm gonna risk. It's a ranged spell attack. So if I get like a really bad roll on this attack roll for that, I could risk hitting her or Barag, right? Because the way they are in front of me.
Like if you roll a 1.
Or something to that effect. Yeah.
I would say really only if you roll a 1.
Okay. Cool. So I'm gonna taking my chances on this.
Sure.
My ass does not approve.
I'm gonna cast.
With bolt in the name is not my cup of tea.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast. Well, you know what? I'm actually gonna go ahead and cast Sacred Flame on her.
My ass does approve.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to save spell slots too. So, okay, so I'm gonna cast Sacred Flame on the hag, and she gets a dexterity throw for that.
Okay.
And it's all or nothing on this one. So.
Gotcha.
Where's that?
14. Yeah.
She made it.
Okay.
Natural 19.
Yeah. Whew. Okay. Then I will use my bonus action to attack with my spiritual weapon.
Okay.
And it's gonna be melee spell attack against her.
Okay. What'd you roll?
Oh, I'm getting like really good or really terrible. It's gonna be modified 9.
No, unfortunately that does miss.
Okay. End of my turn.
It was a valiant effort.
Yeah.
Nothing seemed to go your way in that turn.
Yeah, it could have been really cool, guys.
Yeah. Nothing seemed to go your way. Alright, so next it's going to be Daedalus.
Okay, I'm gonna take a shot at that Shadow Hound to get him out of the way.
Go for it.
Hopefully, I'll get an Eldritch Blast him twice.
Do it.
Oh, that's not gonna hit. 4 plus 6.
That unfortunately misses.
The other one is 10 plus 6.
That does hit. So go ahead and roll damage.
So roll damage for 1. So let's get rid of it. And for this one, it's gonna be just to mess with it. It's gonna be a dog bone.
Sure.
Like a bone.
Sure.
It's gonna just whack it kind of close.
Okay.
And see, that's a 6 plus 3, so that's a 9.
Okay. So you do hit it. You hit it pretty hard. It's looking pretty hurt, but it's still standing. Yeah.
I got that second one.
Still standing. All right. So is that gonna end your turn?
Yeah, so what am I
Okay. So she stands before you. You see her again say another. She mutters another incantation, magical incantation. Runes kind of appear in the air in front of her, and she falls down on all fours. And you see her hands slowly kind of transform into like hoof-like appendages. Her body actually changes into this large barrel-like body with a long tail with a big a nodule of bone at the end. It's got long stringy hair all over her body except for an armored underbelly. Long neck with a smaller head. On the head is 2 large tusks with teeth kind of jutting out of it. And that is going to end her turn, but I need everybody to make a DC 16 Constitution save, please.
Even me, if I'm not a
You are not within 10 feet. So, actually, Talvis, you're not within 10 feet. So just Terra and Barag.
Spirit Guardians as well. It's still others, so.
Yeah, no.
I'm gonna pass you my last inspiration there. I'm out of inspiration now to re-roll that 2.
I had 6, by the way, people.
And what's that Constitution save?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have my Constitution modifier.
Oh, 8.
So 13, 14, 15, 16 exactly.
16
Modified
exactly.
16
Okay,
exactly.
so you only take 2 points of damage, poison damage.
Okay.
You take 4 points of poison damage. Unless you've got resistance to poison.
I do.
So you take half that.
And actually, I also have resistance. I have resistance to poison anyway. So.
That's why you only take 2.
Yay!
Yeah. All right, so you just see this stench. It's almost, you can almost see the stench in the air. It's green as it just comes right off the body of this creature.
Even though I'm outside, can I still smell it?
You smell it, yeah. It smells like skunk.
Did somebody fart?
In typical Daedalus fashion.
Yeah.
Frog, did you rip one?
No, not this time.
It was a hag, wasn't it?
Yeah, and she got even worse looking.
Oh my god! Talvis!
We're really in
I'm going all in on this.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now it is going to be the Mastiff's turn. Again, he sees that. You know what? He's gonna go for Daedalus this time. 15. What's your armor class?
11.
11. Okay, so 15 to hit. He's going to do some damage to Daedalus. He just jumps on your back and again starts ragdolling you. Ragdolling you, rather. I can't talk today. So.
It's from all the corned beef and potatoes and cabbage.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Happy St. Patty's Day, by the way.
Yes. Dun, dun, dun.
I just had that page and I can't find that page.
Dun dun dun.
Courtney.
Terra,
I'm sorry,
actually.
Terra, you're right. You're right. Bad DM. Upgrades.
You are forgiven.
Thank you. You take 10 points of piercing damage and make a DC 13 save. Strength save. Let's see, he's got a very serious face on right now.
16.
16? Alright, so you manage to stay on your feet as it's hanging by the back of your neck. You can feel its jagged teeth deep in your flesh. That is going to end its turn. I believe the Shadow Demon has not gone yet. And it sees Terra.
I was at pretty good health here.
12?
No.
What's your
17.
17. Okay, so it misses with a claw. And that's going to end their turn. Terra, you're up.
And if I leave that spot, am I in melee range of that demon?
Yeah.
Dang it. Is it worth it? You know what, I will. I'll take that chance.
Okay.
And then I have uncanny dodge, so it'll have
You'll have damage.
half damage, yeah.
Right, if you take damage.
Yeah. So
Alright,
I'm going to...
Let me roll the attack for this shadow demon really quick. Roll the natural 1.
Oh.
So,
Can it hit itself, please?
no, it cannot hit itself.
Aww.
Gonna hit the hag.
Maybe.
Can it?
It misses a hack.
Aww. The whole rest of the room deflated, and meanwhile the DM is like, yes!
Aw.
So I'm gonna move right over here. Now I can use my daggers, because I'm sick and tired of rolling for the crossbow.
Go for it.
Because it's garbage. 18.
On the shadow demon?
No, on the hag.
Okay, who's now transformed into this giant animal.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay, 18 total?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that does hit, so go ahead and roll damage.
I'm actually gonna roll for the second attack.
Okay, so roll your second attack.
15.
15 does hit.
Million O dice.
Here we go.
You should be more enthusiastic about that. You should be like, yes! Million O dice.
Yeah, you gonna get sneak attack damage too?
Yeah, because you're right there.
You're within melee.
Woo!
1.
12, 22, 25, 26, 27, 8 cold damage, and 19 regular damage. That's with one dagger. Take these out.
Oof. So yeah, your frostbrand dagger sinks deep into his hardened flesh. You can actually feel like nodules of hardened flesh under that brown matted fur as your dagger sinks in deep. Black blood starts to kind of pour out of its wound and freezes instantaneously due to your dagger.
Ooh, lovely. Bloodsicle. 5,
Remember,
10.
you only get sneak attack damage once per turn.
Oh, okay, so -3. So 7, 10, 11 for the enchantment. Not bad. Well, considering 27 I think was the other one.
Rod, you're up.
Sweet. Alright. Let's see what I'm gonna do here. Just keep attacking that hag. That horrible, horrible hag that is in front of me. That's turned into this gruesome beast.
Yes.
That's 3, so that's a miss.
Oh, yeah.
That's 15, 16, 17, 18.
18 does hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Sweet. 9 and 10.
Damn, son.
15, 16, 17, 18 damage total. Yes.
Alright.
Gotta love those d6s.
Okay, so you hit it hard right in the shoulder, right in the large hump where the hump meets the shoulder. You sink your Chimera Rising Hammer deep into it. Well done. Now, Talvis, you're up.
I'm going to
Daedalus,
cast
you're on deck.
Guiding Bolt at the hag.
Go for it.
And it will be ranged spell attack. 13.
That misses.
Okay, then I will take a spiritual weapon attack as a bonus action
Go for it.
on her.
There's not been
That
on
ends my
that.
turn.
He's just like,
Done. This is burn.
I'm done playing D&D, guys. That's it. It's over. The dream is done.
man.
The dream. All right, Daedalus, you're up.
So is this thing in melee range? Is it?
The Shadowhound?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So casting spells at it would be at disadvantage.
Range spells, yes. There are spells that you have to use touch.
And no one else. Will he be in range if I do a poison spray?
Poison spray, I believe.
Because you said it comes out in a cone.
Yes. No, you can aim the cone so it's away from Talvis.
Okay, so I'm gonna aim it right at that thing.
Okay, go for it.
And it's been a while since I cast this, but that's every single time. They're always in
Yeah, you're right.
range. And
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
They never allow me to cast it because I would risk anything too.
Guys, it's your fault he never casts it.
Too bad.
But I don't want to hurt you guys. It's like, what's the point? It's like you guys supposed to be my tank. If you're dead, who's gonna?
Who's gonna take the blow? Oh, I saw I'm your meat shield.
You don't have to logistically explain it to me, sir.
So I'm
Alright,
your,
so go ahead.
I'm your meat shield.
He's logistically explaining for the internet. I can see.
So it doesn't look like I have to roll for it. It's just that the creature must succeed on a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, so what's your save DC?
My save DC is 16.
16, alright.
And if it doesn't, since I'm above this level, it'll suffer 2d12.
It does suffer 2d12, so go ahead and roll that damage, son.
12.
Alright.
And then the other one is a 9.
Tell me how, explain your moment of victory to me. How do you-
Yes!
One down.
I bring out my hand and I hold it out in front of me, and I just spray this huge amount of poison into it.
Nice. What's the poison look? Is it like green or purple in nature? What's it look like?
No, it's
And does your hand actually, does it operate like kind of like a mouth that kind of opens up and like releases it, or?
it just comes out of like, actually a little portal appears in my hand. And it's
There you go. Beautiful.
And the smoke is actually a mixture of purple and green.
Nice. That's
And
kind of
it
gross.
just- yeah, kind of gross, but it gets the idea across.
Well done. So you see the shadow mastiff actually gets completely engulfed by your poison, and it kind of like lumbers to the left and to the right, and then just poof, falls down, and its form completely dissipates. Well done, sir.
Yay.
All right. So is that gonna end your turn, Daedalus?
Yes, that's good. Anyway.
Okay. So now you hear the creature that the hag kind of transformed into, kind of not mule, but I will say not even bark, but let out just a gruesome sound. And I'm going to have okay, one moment. There's got to be a better way than $1,000,000. Alright, so alright, so Talvis, you are going to be the next target. Okay, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, DC 16. 21. Okay, so right, you take half of 8d8 necrotic damage. As it looks at you, you see its eyes kind of turn black, and you get hit right in the chest with a black ray. So let's see.
I heard that comment I made. I know it did.
Again.
So 38 divided by 2.
Okay.
So that's 19 points of necrotic damage. So mark that because you cannot heal that.
Okay.
So 19 points of necrotic. If you had failed that by 5 or more, you would have taken off the top 64 points of necrotic damage. Yeah.
And you can't heal that, right?
Well, at 64 points of necrotic damage. Yeah. You can put him in the ground.
Can't heal something that's dead.
Yeah, seriously. Alright, so now we've got the shadow creature is going to swing around. It's going to see you kind of, all of a sudden all of these boils kind of erupt from your body and you start spitting out blood as you get hit with this black ray. And the shadow creature actually comes over and makes its claw attack at you. What's your armor class?
18.
Misses. So its claws just kind of like scrape up your armor.
Get to attack him on.
He's actually still within melee range of Terra, so he just kind of moves around. So and then to the left. There you go.
So he entered my.
He did.
My.
Did you? Wait. You gotta maintain concentration.
That's
from
right.
the damage. So go ahead and roll your concentration.
So it's 15 on that one.
And what's your concentration share? It's half of the damage that you took, so 8.
Well.
So you took 19, right?
So I took 19. Yeah.
So you got at least half of that, right? On your roll.
I got 15 modified.
Okay, so you made it.
Okay.
You managed to keep it up. So go ahead. I need to make a wisdom save. Right?
Yeah, wisdom save and against 14.
Okay, I rolled a natural 14.
Ooh.
So
So he gets half.
Half. Yes.
8 damage.
8 damage. That's before half?
That's after.
After. Damage. Alright. So you see these little, they're pixie-like creatures, right?
Yeah.
Kind of flittering around him, taking little chunks out of its shadowy mass. Good job. And that is going to be the end of your turn?
That's his turn.
Oh, his turn, that's right. Next, it's going to be Terra.
All right.
Wait, did she get that attack on him on his way past? Yes.
He's still within melee.
He's still in melee of me.
He just swung around her, but he never broke melee.
Somebody would break.
Don't be such a rules lawyer. Look at him.
23 for the first attack.
That hits.
On the hag.
Okay, that definitely hits.
Dang it. 10.
10. Okay.
Oh no, that's for the second attack.
Okay.
But
Second attack misses.
miss. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So go ahead and roll your damage.
Million O dice.
Million O dice. Why did you pick that class? Why did you talk to me about? Why did I say that was a good class for you?
You told me.
And now I'm second guessing my life choices.
Dang. Alright, so actually we'll do this one as cold plus 2, so that's 8 cold damage. And then these ones here.
These ones.
Okay, you know what? My
Alright.
English is not that great today. 8, 10, 11, 12.
Ooh. Okay, so you see it bleeding profusely. It looks pretty damaged. Is that gonna end your turn?
That will end my turn.
Okay. Now, because this is the beginning of a new turn, who failed the DC Constitution save on the smell, the stench?
Was that the one that I was out of range for?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that was me.
That was you. You need to make another Constitution save. It's a new round.
Oh yeah, I saved 9.
Okay, so then you're immune to it then.
Okay. I barely saved mine. I was at 14 exactly, I think, or whatever. No, 16 exactly.
Oh my god.
Magic methane for the win.
10.
So you take more poison. You take 1. I rolled a 1.
So 0.5?
That's
I'm
1. You
Dang
take
it.
1 point of damage. Nice try.
I'm resistant.
Nice try.
Well, you said half.
1 point of damage.
trying to barter with the DM. It
There's
doesn't
no
work.
bar, it's just
I am the law.
I am the law. Yeah. All right. Now, Barag, your turn.
Yay. I love it when he says it's my turn.
Your law.
I'm a dwarf. What do you
Dwarf.
expect? This is what I live for. Take my 2 attacks on the ugly hag in front of me.
That's rude.
That is a 23.
That hits.
I'm gonna roll for my second attack. That is a 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
That also hits. No, that does not hit.
Oh.
I wish you changed.
Yeah. Jacked up. Great weapon fighting for that 1. Because I love being a dwarf. And I roll a 1 anyway.
Alright, so what's the total damage?
11 damage for the first. Yeah, for that attack.
Okay. All right. So you hit it with Chimera Rising. As you hit it, you hear another bone break, and she flings completely. In mid transformation, flings and hits the wall, and kind of polymorphs back to her hag body. You see her kind of bleeding from the jaw. Her lips curl back, and you see the iron nails in her mouth. That toothy smile of hers. That is going to end your turn, Brock?
Yes.
Okay. Talvis, you're up.
Okay, I'm going to. Let's see. This thing wasn't directly in front of me, right? It was like here.
Right.
Okay, so I'm going to take 1 step forward. I'll stay within melee of him, and cast Guiding Bolt at the hag.
Go for it.
These attack rolls. That's right. Oh, that's a 9 though. 15.
That misses.
Okay. Then I will take my spiritual weapon attack against
Go
her.
for it.
Never mind.
This is again.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right, Talvis. That'll end your turn. Daedalus, you're up.
Okay, well, I'm gonna take aim at that the demon thing in front. He decided to come outside,
Sure.
and I'm going to I'm gonna try and viciously bump it.
Go for it.
Yes.
Finally. So and it has to
I rolled a 1.
Oh!
I rolled a 1. So give me your best.
It's like, you know, if you're a shadow creature, are you scared of yourself? You know how people are scared of their shadow? Are you scared of you?
It looks at you and kind of crooks its head to the left, and you see like it grabbing for its head as if it's in pain. So go ahead and roll your damage.
And the damage is 6 damage because 2d4.
2d4.
Yeah, so 6 damage done to it. Nice. And it has disadvantage next round.
Cool.
Yay.
What's the deal with airplane peanuts? Alright, so that's going to end your turn. Now it's her turn. She is going to... Okay. I need everybody to make another save.
Everyone except me. Because this is really affecting me because I'm not inside her. Not in her
Aye.
still. Am I right? Still outside her.
Relax. Calm, young
It just says any creature. Oh yes, that you can see within her range. All right, so yes, you are out of range. So I need everybody to make a wisdom save.
18.
4. I made a lousy 4.
Natural 19, modified 20.
Okay. So whoever made their save takes 11 points of psychic damage. Whoever failed, I think that's Barag, you take 22 points of psychic damage again as the living nightmares now start to emerge within your mind's eye.
What was the DC on?
14.
Oh, okay. 11 then on a success.
If you made it, yes. If you succeeded, then you take 11 points of psychic damage. If you failed, you take 22 points of psychic damage.
I think she's within range of my. Oh, but I have to roll for concentration.
Yes.
Okay, so. Yeah. 19.
Jesus Christ. Alright, so go ahead and roll damage.
She gets the
Wisdom save, yes.
And that other thing gets the 2.
Oh yeah, he does too. 14 total.
Okay, so what's your DC?
14.
14. Okay, she failed, and I believe natural 1 for the Shadow Beast. Alright, so they take full damage. So you rolled, what's your damage on the Spiritual Guardians?
14.
14?
Ooh. Taking chunks out of both of them.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yay.
It's good for like closing.
Okay, so you see kind of like the Shadow Beast, its form now as the fairies that you've kind of summoned with your Spiritual Guardians are taking little bits of the Shadow Beast's form. Each bite that they take out of it, now it's having a hard time like reforming those little missing bits. It's looking pretty rough, and the hag actually takes 14 points of damage as well. So yeah, looking rough for both of them. Whose turn is it now?
I believe because Daedalus just went, right? Or the hag?
The hag.
The hag.
Okay, so it's me.
Thank you, Terra. I need an initiative tracker. All right, so
I'm gonna. She's up against the wall, right? She's.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and use persuasion to try and persuade her to kind of like lower her weapons and get some information.
It's
out
not
of
like
her.
mind control.
Yeah, just like talk.
You're trying to talk her down.
Yeah. Would it be intimidation or persuasion?
It's whatever you choose. I
Um.
mean, if you're coming at her aggressively, then intimidation. If you're trying to present yourself as non-threatening, then it would be persuasion.
And then again, we did almost just kill her right now, so I will try to use intimidation.
Okay.
Let me see. 14.
Okay. Wow.
Wow.
Whoa! Oh, let's not start that.
Yes.
Oh, no.
So she says, "Whoa!" She rips off her mask, and it's Owen Wilson.
Poor Owen Wilson. We still love
I would
you.
have gotten away with it if it weren't for you meddling kids.
Oh my.
All right, no. So she looks at you for a second, and you see kind of like the blood-covered nails that comprise her teeth kind of show as her lips curl. But she looks like she's putting her wand back, which she has not used yet, by the way. She looks like she's like bringing it, not putting it back, but she's bringing it down. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, the shadow demon as well. It's still around. It has its arms up, but it's just like kind of like almost defensively. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, looking in your turn.
Yes, that'll end my turn.
Okay. Rock.
So I'm gonna try to talk to the hag
Sure.
and just kind of talk her down, basically, or ask her, can we end this blood drawing? Can we finish this and stop being at each other's throats?
So you see her panting and breathing. You entered my home, my domicile. You tried to kill me.
Well, yes, we did enter.
You must
Unjust.
leave. You must leave. and I will withdraw aggressions. But I will give you what you want. You've come for answers.
Aye, indeed we have. We will leave upon finding out where you have seen this little girl.
So she snaps her fingers and the shadow beast disappears. I will give you what you want and more. You seek something important to the Hestia whore, do you not?
Aye, indeed we do.
I have seen this thing in the swamp. I know where it is. And I know where the little half-orc girl is.
What is this thing you speak of?
Oh, the Hearth of Hestia. Divine magic. It burns my skin.
I just kind of wave my page out of Johan's journal. I kind of wave it in Barag's direction.
Oh, because he doesn't know, right?
Well, he's seen it before. I showed it to him.
Yeah.
Kind of a reminder. Like,
Sure.
Ah, yes, the page. Okay. I was kind of.
Everything comes with a price, son of the stone. Everything comes with a price, and I will not ask you to pay that price, nor the sea whore, or even Hestia's whore.
What is the price that you're going
that
to
can be
ask?
paid only by Daedalus Hotwell.
I like turn to Daedalus like, hey, you should get in here because he's actually our lovely host.
By the way, we're playing D&D.
By the way. Hey, you might want to join us. I know you're probably just
So
chilling up there.
she kind of wipes the blood from her brow and goes over to her rocking chair and sits down, kind of just wiping herself. Yes, I know what you seek. You seek the girl, yes.
Indeed, we seek the girl.
She seeks the Hearth of Hestia as well. I feel her sadness. It is like a fine wine. She calls to me. I thought of reciprocating, calling to her, luring her for her safety, of course. I would never harm a child. She kind of smiles and you see her nails.
What you may say about that, I have no idea that thirst, but I need
You
you to
have
point this in that
no
direction.
idea about a great many things, son of the stone.
I certainly know I hate the fucking swamp.
Yes.
So please,
I
hasten
cannot
with that
disagree with
direction.
you, son of the stone.
Please, ask the price of Daedalus so we can find out where this girl is.
You must leave my home. I must talk to young Daedalus Hotwell.
I'm just gonna grab Daedalus, throw him towards the hag, and be like, alright, we're leaving.
I'm
Bye.
I'm gonna dash.
Bye,
It's like almost in a cartoon. They push you forward all leave.
Pushing each other as we're running.
I quickly slam the door behind me. Bye.
Well, thank you guys.
No, there's nobody there to thank.
I'm saying that sarcastically. Out loud, sarcastically. Sure. So, well, since I'm in here by myself now, let's get down to business. What is it that you want?
Oh. Daedalus Hotwell, great darkness is coming. Don't know if you are aware. Our kind is being systematically hunted. simply for who we are. You have bound your soul to another, as I have. You will suffer. You think these people you travel with, they're your friends. They are not your friends. They are your friends now because it is convenient for them. But the second they get the chance, they will cast you out as a villain. They will consume you. Do you understand?
If they wanted to cast me out, they would have done so already.
It's only because it suits them now. Eventually, they will cast you out, as they have me. I've not chosen to live in this swamp. I was put here. However, people such as us have existed a long time, Daedalus. We commune with one another. In rare instances, we are what one would call covens. Have you ever heard of a coven, Daedalus Hartwell?
Indeed I have.
Covens are formed for protection, but we share power willingly with one another. We are bound by blood and promise to protect one another during dark times. I offer this to you, and so much more, Daedalus Hartwell. And I will give those sacks of meat outside what they want. Would that be amicable to you? After all, you've already given parts of your soul to another. Why not one more time?
Ooh. It's a tough choice.
Life is tough. Choices are tough, Daedalus, but I promise you this. You will benefit with great power.
I'm just gonna be like sitting and thinking for a little.
So as you kind of ponder her words, she walks over to the little corner table that you had seen before. It caught your eye, and she had mentioned it before. And she walks over and she pulls off kind of like this old moth-eaten leather tarp, and you just see a crystal ball on top of this table. And she says, "Come here." Well.
Yeah, so I cross over to her. I just walk over and stand next to her.
Gaze into this stone. It is a seeing stone. Think of the girl.
Okay, so I look inside and I think of Mylkun.
Okay. So as you think of Mylkun and like a picture of her pops in your head, and you're staring at the seeing stone, you see kind of formations, clouds, and slowly they kind of form her. And you see her, she is tied, and she's gagged. She is somewhere in the swamp. She's completely surrounded by, looks like orcs. And she is by a fire. She's crying. She doesn't look like she's armed. She doesn't have weapons, and that's really all that you can see. And then your vision comes right back. You're back in that hut, in that cottage. She goes, "What did you see your little friend?"
She's bound and gagged, and she must be in an orc camp somewhere.
Orcs. They're like cockroaches. Vermin. I can give you what you need to find this little girl. And this token, this Hearth of Hestia that you search for. Should you agree to bind your soul to our covenant?
Oh, I guess I have no choice.
Oh, there's always a choice. Daedalus Hardware. Always is a choice.
I will do it.
Very well. Kind of see her smile, a big, broad, almost Joker-like smile. You see her iron nail-like teeth. She walks over to her table. She cuts her hand. She licks the blood off her hand, and she walks over to you, and motions for your hand.
Pass it over.
So she get 1 point of edge damage, but she cuts your hand and puts her hand in yours, and you see magic coalesce around your and her hand. You feel a tightness around your chest, and blood starts to kind of soak your shirt from within. And she says, you are bound to us, Daedalus Hartwell. You will benefit greatly. This I promise. So she kind of like takes out one of her teeth. She pulls the nail out slowly from the gum, slowly, until it comes completely out. And she starts polishing it. Daedalus Hardwell, this is yours. Should you have need of your covenant, we shall come. We shall destroy all who stand in your way, as you are required to call our summons. So as she finishes polishing it, it is now a coin. The coin actually has your picture. It's your picture on it, almost as if it's engraved. And she gives you the coin. Keep this. Talk to it when you need anything, and we shall accommodate as we can. I promise you, you are one of us.
Is there a name for this coin?
There isn't a name for the coin. You can name it whatever you want.
Oh yeah, I just guess it was called the summoning coin.
There you go.
So there we go. That's
You are part of the Grim Shadow Coven. There are more of us. But there are 3. You are the 3rd locally within these lines. Your sister. She is now your sister as I am, and you are my brother. She will meet you in time, I'm sure. Welcome to the family, Daedalus Hardwell. She goes over and gives you a hug. Very cold hug. It's almost like she's got no warmth in her body. She's like room temperature. She hugs you. She goes, "Today is a great day. Celebration, Daedalus Hardwell." So she reaches over into her a little pouch, and she pulls out a small ceramic, not a coin, but almost like about the size of about 3 inches wide. It's a small, flat ceramic token, and it says, "Take this token. You talk to it. You say the name of your coven, and you will be transported, just you, to the closest sister or brother in your order." but once you use it, it is done. It takes years to create one. Many sacrifices were made. It's very powerful magic. So use it when it's most dire, brother.
Okay. I put it into my quiver.
Call Hestia Horn here.
Alrighty. So I walk outside and motion towards Talvis. Hey, she wants to see you.
Call him Hestia Horn.
No, disconnect.
Call him Hestia Horn.
Do I really have to?
Call him.
Okay. Hey, Hestia Horn. She wants to see you.
What did you call me?
Hey, she told me.
Grief, man.
So I walk outside.
I'm giving you all the inspiration.
That was an inspiration. That was cool.
You get inspiration for infinity. Oh, that's so good.
Just give him a pile of inspiration. The DM is in tears here.
It's so good. It's so good.
So I get in there and I look at her. Did you really tell him to call me that? Because I need to know who's responsible.
He's one of us now. Hestia Horn.
One of who? I look around.
He will explain in due time, I'm sure.
I hope so.
You search for something. The Hearth of Hestia.
That sounds about right.
Yes, I've seen such a divine and insulting object.
Well, I'd love to get it out of your hair.
Please do. The king of the swamps possesses this object. I can't tell you what it is. He moves quite a bit. Unseen. However, I'm sure he will find you in time.
Does he stay within the swamp?
Oh, he never leaves.
Good to know, I guess. And is that all you can tell me about this?
That's all I
object?
can tell you.
King of the
Stay within the swamp's borders long enough. He will find you, I'm sure.
And that's what we'll do.
Never bother me again.
Oh,
You understand this?
yes, I can assure you of that.
Good. Because if you do, Daedalus will kill you for me.
No. We'll see.
Yes.
We'll see.
Your lot turned on him pretty quickly.
I will say I
Get
was
out
more or
of my
less.
cottage.
I was drug out of here. I
Yes.
mean, the dwarf kind of grabbed me by the hand. It was
Excuses.
Yes.
Excuses.
yes.
You may leave,
I
pretty boy.
gladly. She knows. Character sheet.
I can tell you fast. That's unhealthy. Eat a hamburger.
Oh, hamburger sounds good. For a second there, I thought you were gonna offer me something out of that lovely cauldron. It smells very good.
It's delicious.
I am in my fasting window, so thank you. I'm just like back out, facing her as casually as one can make that
Sure.
look. Just like bye,
Sure.
and just turn out the door and fast walk.
Okay.
So I'm gonna let this one go because she said that she told you to call me Hestia Horror, but
Yeah, don't worry,
That's-
I will not be calling you that ever again.
oh, that's good to hear. Good to hear.
You are still suffering quite a bit of necrotic
Necrotic
damage. You're in a
damage.
bad way.
19, yeah.
You
Is that a so to cure that
you need a full rest.
long rest?
Long rest.
Okay.
Now understand, it's going to take conventional medicine. It's going to take time and rest to cure that. So mechanically, you're going to get your hit points back, but you're still going to be suffering from the sores and the basically the necrotic
My
damage.
health
Visually,
cap is.
it will be the same.
Speed.
Yeah. Yes.
So,
It'll be full. With a
Oh,
long
okay.
rest.
Okay, just in terms of role playing, I'll be suffering.
You will be you will be
Okay.
suffering for a little bit.
Can
I mean, what you're going to be doing for the long rest is you're going to be maybe cutting away some of the rotten flesh.
Okay.
Just what they would do during the Dark Ages to kind of get rid of rotted flesh.
Right.
You'll stitch yourself up.
Okay.
Divine magic does not cure it, so it's something that's going to take conventional. You may use like regular balms,
Okay.
things like that, but magic potions are not going to cut it, not for necrotic damage. So
We have aloe.
aloe
I'll
works
take
on
it. I'll
everything.
try anything.
Take some of my aloe.
No Vicks? No Vicks and soup?
No, I use Tiger Balm. Get out of here! All right, so what do you guys think?
What do you guys say we get away from this?
It's around her little compound here. The smell is pungent.
Yeah. Let's get away from the smell. Let's get away from her, and let's lay down for the night.
Yeah. So
As you look at, as you guys kind of make plans to leave, you guys look at Daedalus and you see that his eyes are black.
You've got something. You got something in your eye.
Yeah, let's just say if we wanted to know where she was, I had to agree to something. And that was joining her little coven. So it allowed me to see where she was, but I had to agree to that first.
And you want to break the news to us? Lead the way, Where is she?
Well, what I saw her, she was bound and gagged, and she was surrounded by orcs.
Yeah,
It's in this swamp somewhere.
That sounds fun. Killing orcs and all.
Still think we should rest. We're no good to Mylkun in the condition that we're in now.
Yes, I agree with that. We need to find some better ground though, because I don't want to sleep next to this smell. I have no idea what it is.
I need you guys to make a history check. Does anybody know Orc as a language?
No.
Nope. And then I have 19.
17.
Okay.
3. I have no idea where I'm
So you're rolling exactly as you've been rolling all night long.
Pretty much, yeah.
Got
On
it.
the attack rolls.
17.
17. Okay, so the three of you are aware. You, through your military training, you fought orcs quite a bit. You, with your time on the seas, you've actually crewed with orcs. And you, through your time in the Fae, there are orcs also in the Fae. You guys know that for the most part, clans tend to be very nomadic. And you imagine that probably living in the swamp, they follow the food. And they're probably even more nomadic than most orc tribes, being in the swamp. So you know that she's in one spot. She seems safe and unharmed. However, you know that they like their food fresh. You know that they are not opposed to eating their own. Generally, when orcs die, they don't necessarily bury the dead. A lot of times they will consume the dead as they see it almost as a waste of resources. So they will probably be dragging her along, but probably not for too long. They are nomadic, and so they probably won't be in one place for a very long time.
Yeah, that rest is not gonna work. We need to.
Not bode well for us.
Not for us, for her. They're gonna.
For both of us.
If what Daedalus says is true.
Well, the rest is gonna have to work because I have no choice. I'm in bad shape, as you can probably see from my oozing wounds. My
Then put some aloe on it.
You
Call it a
You
day.
kind of see like the black veins of necrosis kind of like just under the surface of his skin, through his neck.
My magic resources are just about tapped. If you wish to move ahead without me, then I will do my best to catch up with you, but I'm in no shape to move ahead.
You realize this is a girl that's gonna probably be eaten.
I realize that when I find her in this condition, that I will probably be eaten as well.
Hey, he does have a point.
So again, you are going to let a little girl be eaten, even though this was really no fault of her own, instead of someone opening their big mouth. Again.
Sidebar. I just noticed that you have not been talking in an accent this whole session.
My throat.
Oh, your throat. Okay, I'm sorry.
My throat's been...
Okay.
My
The DM will allow that.
I was gonna say, for internet purposes, off table, my throat is in a bad way,
Okay,
or
that's
else
fine. You know,
there would be an accent.
Sure.
Tara, your voice sounds different.
Well, yeah.
Funny
It sounds like
guy.
you got hit by a spell during that fight.
Yes, there you go.
I'm still Terra. Totally Terra.
Tara, did you have a procedure done?
No, just hung around a band of orcs for too long. But so, what the hell was I saying now? Jesus.
You were saying that
Sorry, I didn't.
we were gonna let her get eaten potentially.
They will move, and they will consume. Probably soon, if she's already at the point where she's gagged by the fire, that does not bode well. And the longer we debate here, the more of a chance that when we do find her, it's just going to be bones.
Speaking of which, as you guys are talking, and still kind of near the cottage, you do get a great foreboding anywhere near this cottage. Creatures of darkness seem to be drawn to it instinctively. So you guys kind of hear like creaking of things in the swamp. Sometimes you get kind of like the feeling that something is watching you. Daedalus, as a warlock, you do know that, for example, when you are in the Fae, pixies kind of flitter around you. You know that since she is a particularly dark hag, evil things would probably be flitting around her, as you saw with the shadow beasts.
I say we get out of here. I don't feel comfortable being around this cottage.
I agree, but we need to get the girl as soon as possible.
Then let's go. The cleric will have to stay.
By himself? That's a great idea.
No, we leave him with the elf.
Again, that's a great idea.
Well, half dead is better than dead altogether.
Why don't we find her?
Let's leave him here.
Is it still dark?
It's not.
Still the middle of the night?
That whole skirmish was only a matter of minutes.
Okay.
Not even that much, actually. Was it maybe 10 rounds? So a minute?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How about this? If we rest, I may have something that could make up for lost time and help us find Mylkun even faster than if we were to move now. And,
What is this that you speak of?
And when she says that, I grab my necklace that my holy symbol is attached to, and I just touch Daedalus' shoulder, and I cast Wind Walking from it. And at that moment, Daedalus and I just basically, in an instant, turn into just a small cloud of mist. And that's all you see. And
so, in your eyes, it's like, oh my god, they disappeared.
And then I float around Barag's head and around Terra's head, and then just shoot up in the air, and then come back down behind the cottage and swirl around and land back right where I was and deactivate the spell.
Sure. Yeah, and you see that this kind of like humanoid-shaped mist kind of like disappear, and there's Talvis again.
I can use that on all of us. It can get us across the swamp a hell of a lot faster than trudging through the mud.
You didn't tell us this
Damn.
before? When, Daedalus here was being swallowed by the swamp?
Well, I can only use it every so often. Once every dawn.
I'm in. I want to turn into a little cloud thingy. I don't know what the hell it is. But if I get to float like that, we're taking a nap now. Let's go.
We need to take a short nap. We don't have much time.
And
as you guys are talking, the rain starts pouring down on you.
Let's get away from the cottage. Okay, let's stop arguing here. Can we get away from the creepy cottage for the last time?
It's actually even hard to hear Barag. The rain is just coming down so hard.
Ah! Let's go!
And yes, I agree. Can we make it under it? Would the tree provide any kind of real coverage from the
The
rain?
canopy already blocks a great deal of the weather.
Mhm.
However,
Swamp.
right. You're in the swamp. You're already wet.
Yeah.
And gravity will actually, pull this moisture down eventually. But it provides a little bit of canopy, a little bit. Nobody has survival or nature.
I do.
And
You
I have nature.
survival.
I mean, you can make a lean-to.
Oh, I didn't know that was possible, but yeah, I will build us a shelter then.
Sure, yeah. You can build a shelter. Why don't you go ahead and make a roll with your survival?
And then can I check what's my nature check with
It's
solid ground?
I'm
or...
not gonna say anything. Okay.
So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Nice, dude.
Yay!
So, do you have a dagger or an axe?
I have an axe. I have a
So
great hand axe.
you take your axe and you start, chopping down little saplings, things with a lot of foliage on them, and you start weaving them into one another and start making this roof for this lean-to. It'll take you probably an hour to make a lean-to big enough for all of you guys.
Okay.
Maybe another hour if you want to make something to get you guys off the floor.
That would be definitely worth it. So I will make do another hour to get.
I will say this. I will say you can cut your time in half with assistance. I was going to mention you can roll with advantage if somebody helped you, but I was like, no, let them do it. Let them do it. Let them do it.
So, just
You'll assist? Okay, so the whole project is going to take about an hour with Talvis helping you.
okay. Thank God someone chimed in.
Daedalus right now, I would imagine, is having a hard time.
Torn.
He is not that he's torn, but he's touched a power that is very different from what he's used to. Daedalus, it's almost like you feel a corruption has touched you. And as you look at where the blood from your chest is kind of seeped through your shirt, you almost see as if somebody had cut with a dagger, like a goat head, right in the middle of your chest. So you're seeing this, and you kind of don't know what to make of it. And what are you doing? Sorry?
I was gonna check and see while they're building that. Use my nature check to see to see if there's any good flat surface that they can maybe a steady.
Roll a nature check for me.
Oh my god, are you kidding me?
What'd you roll?
11.
You just needed a 10.
Okay.
So you can find firmer ground, but it's all relative in a swamp. You find ground that is not underwater. Interestingly enough, as you are looking around for firm ground, you do find one large white feather. And as you're looking at it, it's not a bird feather. You don't know what it is, but it certainly doesn't belong here. Notably, you do see orc tracks. Old orc tracks. They're quickly being filled by the precipitation coming down. but you see them and you get a general sense of what direction they may be headed.
I'm gonna turn to the group and mention, men, we better stop what we're doing. I found the tracks that we're looking for. If we don't go after them soon, these tracks are gonna be gone. And yes, like with Talvis' spell, it'll be faster, but we might be going around in a circle.
I have another ability that would go hand in hand, and that will allow us all to get a good night's sleep. And I just like tense up when I say that because I feel like I've been arguing for it for like an hour.
I get it. It's the life of a caster, man. It's tough.
And
it's hard out on the streets.
out on these
sacrificing little girls for rest.
Hearth of Hestia. Yeah. And actually, by the way, and I've been trying to play this out a little bit more. Talvis's his personality trait is that rough living grates on him.
I'm sure it does.
He's used to
this
it.
is the roughest living you've ever had in your life.
He's enjoyed fine food, drink, and high society among his temple's elite. But anyway, I have another ability that will allow us to not only track where she is, but her direction of movement.
And this tracking is?
How about you stop questioning and let's just sleep? I'm done with your arguing.
We can cover a lot of ground if we are able to fly, such as my other spell allows, and with the spell that I just mentioned, we can sense her direction at the very least very quickly. And when we get there, we'll be able to put up a fight for her.
But you do understand that even with flying, it's a swamp. We're not going to be able to see any tracks. There's going to be trees.
I don't need to see the tracks. I sense. It's all up here.
So you see, Talvis kind of points to his brain. His think piece. It's all up here.
And I would also like to maybe avoid running into our friend over here again. I sort of nod at the cottage and would hate to have to come back to her for help if we can't find Mylkun fast enough.
Probably if we rest, she's going to be dead. Guaranteed, she's going to be dead.
You don't know that. Let's just...
I've worked with orcs.
And guess what? I've killed a lot of orcs myself.
So what are you doing? Is there you hear them kind of bickering amongst themselves, and Barag is trying to construct this lean-to as Talvis is trying to help, and you see the three of them kind of talking at each other. What are you doing? That's about it. These guys.
I don't.
What do you think? What would Daedalus be thinking right now?
I think I was like, I really do need sleep. I'm currently at 14.
Okay.
So I was like, and I'm sure we will cover enough ground, because if what he says about his magic spells are true, then we'd be able to probably catch up to her right away.
And you convey this to the group?
Yeah.
Okay.
And there might be a possibility that they won't kill her right away. Remember, she's half orc.
They eat their own. They eat their own.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna look at him and just kind of like in the duh face, like
maybe
they eat their own, dude.
Maybe they'll keep her outside the bin longer. Maybe they have something else to eat before her.
They don't. They probably don't.
Yeah.
If they're carrying her like that and they've gagged her, like you said, she's next on the chopping block. Guaranteed. Alright, you guys want to sleep, and you know what? When we go back to the village and we are bringing back a pile of bones, you guys can explain that, because this dumbass, and I'm going to point to Talvis, pissed off the entire village, made a little girl cry, and that's why we're in this mess. And you, and I'm going to point to Barag, are going to agree with this and let a little girl die. So you know what? I'm just going to sit over here, away from you assholes, and I'm going to sharpen my knives.
Looks
Why
like
do
you
you
got first watch.
Seem so intent on making enemies of your friends and friends of your enemies.
I am thinking of the better good of a child.
As am I. But it's always a risk estimation. I think that by virtue of us being out here, we could be dead at any moment. She could be dead between when Daedalus saw her and now. All we can do is give her the best chance we can.
Very well. Like I said, it's your guys' decisions. If you'll excuse me while you get whatever it is you're doing done, I'm going to stand over here and sharpen my knives.
I'll lean over to Terra and be like, it's called sleep. I don't know if you know what that is.
Lean over to Terra.
Lean that direction.
Leaning the other direction towards Terra. It's called sleep. I don't know if you know what that is.
It's called There's a Frostbrand Dagger in my pouch. Shut up.
It's called I Sleep with Chimera Rising. And I'm gonna...
You're gonna have to give him a high five for that.
Inspiration all night tonight, baby. Like, you're going out of style.
And I'm just gonna kind of look at him and just kind of smirk and I'm gonna be touche.
Oh man, I'm out of inspiration. Sorry, it's like an inspiration. Touche. Alright, so you guys finish your lean-to. You set a guard roster.
Yes.
And this is where we'll pick up next time. Well done, guys.
That was great.
Awesome.
Oh, man.
I'm never doing that voice again.
Yes.
You know where I got that voice from? Psycho. The movie Psycho.
Oh.
Shaman! Behold, grant me a shaman!
It's like one of those vaguely
I
familiar
completely ripped that off from Alfred Hitchcock.
That was well done, though.
Thank you, sir.
I love it.
What am I
That was great.
Oh, cool. Alright, guys. So, yeah, it was another fantastic adventure with Ransom's Valor? Valor's Ransom?
Valor's Ransom.
Valor's Ransom. I'll get it one day. Yeah, so super excited for next week. I can't wait to see what you guys get into. Daedalus? Some shit for Daedalus this week.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
This swamp is not treating him well.
His soul has been compromised.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
What do you think
that's
your
the
patron
dude.
is going to think about all
She's
this?
not going to be very happy.
He's like, I already know.
Hopefully she'll hear me out, allow me to say why I did it. It's like if I didn't do it, this girl would be dead.
It's better to ask for forgiveness than permission, huh?
Yeah.
I'm gonna
There
try.
you go.
That's a good way
And
to
hopefully
look
she
at
can
it.
also help me somehow get rid of it.
Maybe. Let's see. Let's see.
But I gotta hopefully
It's like
she'll let me
going-
plead my case.
Yeah.
It's like going home to a very pissed off, angry mom.
Yeah.
Like, you know she's
Bro,
gonna be
she's waiting
pissed.
for you in the Fae with a chancla in her hand.
Yeah.
Yes.
Waiting to
With
beat
the
you.
slipper right there.
Yeah. Barag has been like the voice of reason this adventure. I'm not used to this. That is weird. And Talvis just is starting to come around. He's starting to, he's starting to use his noggin a little. Well, not really.
I'm gonna say he's still thinking about
It
himself.
really is a miss with
Yes,
Talvis.
yeah.
Like sometimes I think like he could be the strategist of the group. Oh no, he's not.
Well, and that kind of describes, I think, his position. Period at the moment is one of having one foot in two different worlds.
You're closer to what you need though.
Yeah.
Like you could taste it. It's
Yeah.
so close.
For sure.
Awesome. Well, it was a great adventure tonight, guys.
Yes.
I loved it. Next week is going to be bananas. I guarantee you guys are going to love it. And that really is about it. So, everybody, be safe, love each other, and see you next week.
Bye, guys. It's been a pleasure.